It's a torrid and cruel landscape clinging to the desert plains of Samburu, its inhabitants equally clinging to the ever-thinning line between life and death. The parched fields tell the story of one of the worst drought seasons the country has faced. In these lands, they haven't seen what they call normal rains for many long months, but there's nothing they can do but hope as hunger and death stalks them.
Sijui Mungu taasha nini, lakini sioni kitu yenye inasabaki kuanzia mwezi wa pili. Kuanzia mwezi wa pili, mimi nafikiri yuko wengi, watu wengi hata inaweza rudi tu, kuna kitu sote imeisha.
In the deserted lands of Kawap, death encircles the air. These are the dried out remains of what was once the community's wealth. These animals had nothing to feed on. Now other creatures will feed off their remains. It's a land littered with the dead and the dying.
Ng'ombe inakufa kila siku. Zaidi ya ng'ombe 600 amekufa kwa hii boma. Na tumesikia serikali iko mpango ya kununua ng'ombe ile na konda. Sijui atakuta nini kununua. Sijui ananunua ngozi ama mfupa. Ng'ombe anaendelea kuisha.
In this dry, dusty part of the country, every drop helps them scrape a living off the lands. If the rains don't come for a season, people go hungry. If they fail twice in a row, the people and their animals begin to starve. This is a lucky herd. It's a people's life savings, viciously protected. But it's become a difficult existence. A brutal battle with climate change has made it even harder.
Even though we are supposed to be taking between 1,500 to 2,000 animals, this is not enough. Because in Samburu area alone, there are more than over 100,000 livestock. And the drought has, it's really affecting pastoralists.
These deep pits are the community's few water options. But with a dry spell, it would take more of these young men to reach the water down below. It's dangerous hard work, more so for those weakened by the hunger. The other options are these choppy, green, already drying water pans, a shared resource between the people and their livestock. Across the parched stretch of another part of the country, this strip of land in Baringo County is poised on the edge of destruction. Such little patches of brown water are a community's source of life. But life is slowly slipping away for many of its people. Her thinning, frail frame stands symbolic of this community's thinning hope of existence. It's been days since she's had anything solid to eat. This steaming pot of hard-boiled wild fruits, locally known as sarich, will be the only meal of the day. But it's not any good for the children.
Tunaanza asubuhi mpaka jioni. Na hii chakula tunakula kwa shida. Hii chakula watoto wanakula wanaara tena.
For others, the meat from the carcasses will be the only decent serving they will have had in a while. Theirs mirror the collective plight of a community on the brink. The drought has driven many children out of school. Over 10 schools and 19 early education centers in Tiaty sub-county have been forced to shut down.
Muda kidogo hivi utapata wanafunzi wengi wanaanza kupotea shuleni, maana wazazi wao wanaenda kutafuta malisho bora pamoja na maji, kwa hivyo wanatembea kwa mbali au wanafunzi hawatafika tena shule.
This is in the middle of a school week and in what should be a school term. But many of them have been long gone. And this is where to burrow into the already drying riverbeds for water. Here they join other groups of women and children, digging a lifeline from deep in the earth. It's a relief when this little puddle of chalky brown water springs forth. They will drink from it and live off it a few more days before this too dries up.
Ndio tunakunywanga tu maji namna hii, ngamia, ponda, umbwa, nini, yote ni namna hii tu.
The community competes for the few available resources with their livestock, but the drought is taking a bite into the fragile peace between the communities living in Baringo. Here in Kapedo, the young men have to drive their herds under the relentless sun and almost cloudless sky, and sometimes into enemy territory. These communities are in desperate need of help from outside. But what they really need is rain. But forecasters say this is not on the horizon. The drought appears set to continue, and now everyone has to make do with whatever little they can find. Sheila Sendeyo, NTV.